Okay, Miss Sue, I think it's good. I think it's, we'll see how it goes here.
All right.
I know it's live. Now the real piece. Hello, friends. We're gonna try to do this right here in our little parish center. And we're gonna do it with the masks on, and we're trusting if we speak slowly, I don't know how the mask will muffle things into sound in here, but gratitude and grace, a new look, at least for today. And I've just been inspired by people's response and people's desire to stay connected to St. Denis. And there's been a lot of different things we've done online, and I'd like to stay with this gratitude and grace on Thursdays if possible, every other Thursday or every Thursday. And I thought it'd be fun to just keep. Last time I did it, I had Matt Weiser, our school principal, on, and Sue Bessler's with us today. I thought it'd be fun to have a good conversation there. And while I'm trying to see, I'm not too familiar with this. I'm assuming it's live. Can you check and see if people you're more familiar with this Facebook thing? Then is it live, and are people with us? And can they give us some gratitude and grace shout outs? So as long as we can hear, I'll do that. Get some coffee going. We don't have chocolate today. Somebody brought in some lemon bars.
We got Rosemary and Jim joining us.
Oh, good. So they're on.
Yes, they're on.
Are they live with us?
Yes, they're live.
Oh, good.
I'm assuming they're live.
Right.
And we also have Tina.
Tina.
Trennell.
Oh, my sister. Hello, Tina. I am not too familiar with this Facebook thing yet, but I thought it'd be fun to there's a few things we want to talk about eventually, but most of all. So Sue, so you went to grade school here.
I did through 5th grade, and then I didn't find out until years later the reason why our folks pulled us out of here, but it's when Father Nicholas started charging tuition, and they couldn't afford it with 4 kids. So I went to public school, and in 2006 I came back as an employee, started out in the kitchen, and
your girls were in school?
My girls all went through school here, so I was a parent here for 17 years.
And were your girls in school while you were here?
Just 2 of them.
In the kitchen, or?
Yeah, when I was in the kitchen, Steph was just going to be graduating 8th grade, but I still had Rachel and Nikki.
Yeah.
So
then from the kitchen, then how did it unfold for you here?
Kitchen wasn't full-time, and I really couldn't afford to only work part-time. So then I started helping out Ken, who was in charge of maintenance at the time. And I was doing kitchen in the morning, and then in the afternoon doing maintenance. And then that progressed into full-time maintenance. And then, how many years ago was it that you said I was getting old, but you wanted to hold on to me? And so I went to half-time maintenance.
I'd like to believe it went differently. But I do specifically remember the moment when I first got here. You was like down in that dungeon area for your office area. I'm like,
I have moved several times in here.
Sue has moved so many different spots on this facility.
Yeah. But so I never know where I'm going to go next. Right now, I'm spending every morning in the church, which is really nice. My mother is very thankful, who is no longer with us.
Right, Virginia. She's got her eyes on her daughter there.
Yep, and actually one of my daughters joined in today, which was really surprisingly. Thank you,
Steph.
Yes.
Nikki?
Stephanie.
She's in Wausau? Or?
She's in Wausau. She's got Emmett, the 4-year-old.
Yes, Sue's a grandma.
Yep. So, but it's nice, and I've gotten to know so many fun people on Facebook through this, and I've become friends with several of you, and I appreciate that. Thank you.
It's funny how that's what we're learning is you can have a friendship, a connection with people, even though you physically may not have met them, seen them. Tell us. So Sue has done facilities and calendaring and director of facilities and just scheduling and that whole piece. And obviously that's on a much lower level right now. Our facilities really aren't too used.
Correct.
School full throttle, but
I still get calls for gym rentals, and that's still a no-go. So
yeah,
our kids don't get to practice anything. So
yeah. So in general, the gymnasium is off limits and the parish center, events and facilities, and that's per the diocesan recommendations, at least through this time.
Correct.
As well, and so then you moved into bookkeeping and financing, and kind of assisting with that. And
Yes, and I've really enjoyed that because that's kind of my background. I spent over 20 years in banking, so
exactly.
I did a lot of financial things, and then I worked for a vending company, which I was their manager, taking care of the cash that was coming in, and Easter seals in the donation center, and so of course I took care of all that bookkeeping. So I've
Yeah.
been
Yep.
around a while.
Sue is one of those utility players, like on a baseball team. You put them wherever you need them, and they usually get it done. And I really have enjoyed that. And that kind of is part of the joy of bringing her in to be with us today, because obviously the COVID shutdown necessitated St. Denis to move in a whole different direction in terms of our online streaming and cameras and that whole and I was like, we started streaming masses on Sunday. We had, as you know, we recorded, and then at a certain point, early June, we went live. But those first weeks, we were doing daily mass in the chapel just with our little computer. And then we decided we want to get to the big church and get people there. Well, I need somebody. I'm like, well,
I'm here every day.
Sue's here every day. She's here by 6:30. I'm like, could she possibly be the one to say we're going live? And look back over it. So really, it was that, we kind of chuckled before, right? I asked you to come on over. We said we'd have maybe a week or 2 weeks of training in service, and as it unfolded, tell the story.
About 3 days. And then the person that was training me was in contact with someone that had tested positive, so he had to quarantine. So I was pretty much running solo from day 4, and as many of you know, there were many, many problems, some days without sound, some days without pictures, and I've learned a lot, and I've learned how to troubleshoot thanks to someone that contacted me today. We weren't on YouTube. So I know exactly where to go now and was able to turn it back on so they were able to watch. But there's been a lot of changes, and my problem sometimes with our people is they don't like to leave notes, and all of a sudden I'll walk in there at 6:30 and something doesn't look right, and I've got them all on speed dial, and I'll call them.
Right. So obviously communication.
Yeah.
Sue is meticulous about his little log and journal and binder over there, or notebook.
Yeah.
And
I'm still the only one.
and yet she's the only one that uses it. So like last night, they were practicing for Christmas.
Yes.
And I'm sure they were in there using this, and yet when you come in this morning.
I could tell as soon as I turned that sound system on, it wasn't set right. And I don't know how they shut off YouTube, but that was shut off, so.
So you really, that's one thing, that's a great skill that you bring to the gift of St. Denis, is just
Tenacity.
tenacity. I want to learn. I'm not going to get frustrated too much, and I just want to make this go. This is a good thing. How do we just stay at it?
Right. It's a joy to bring it to people, and they all are very appreciative. And
so tell us some of those stories of people's response, or what it has meant for you, or what's it been like for you. Just all of a sudden you're in daily conversation with a lot of people.
Yes, I am. And I appreciate it when I get the feedback. And one of our coworkers that's, of course, staying at home,
Jackie,
she lets me know.
She's pretty automatic.
She'll text me. She doesn't do it on Facebook. But
Okay.
no, I appreciate that. There was one for a while there, someone say, I can't hear. Well, then I tweaked the sound a tad, and then she was able to hear. So I enjoy the feedback. It helps a lot, and it also helps with the troubleshooting.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that is the piece that sometimes I noticed, like last week at the funeral. We were restreaming it. I was hearing feedback down below, but when you're in the recording or in that area there,
Right.
You don't hear what's going on up there. So anyways, we're committed to doing this as well as we can, but and the joys of some of the people.
Yeah, it's so nice. It's like I get the thank yous, and thank you for doing this, and it gives me a feel good in the morning. So I enjoy that.
And your dad's off and on, isn't he?
My dad is on, and I see a lot of different people that I know, and it's really nice.
Right. I know, well, Tino's on, there you go, and I know often my aunt and uncle, Elaine and Joyce are on with us, and
Yep,
Dorothy
I've
at
seen
times, and.
We have people from all over. We got Ernesto from Belize. We got
Right, Ernesto, if you're with us now, we give you a shout out from Belize, our Sacred Heart and St. Joseph
Yeah.
School down there. It's just funny how that ever really just began, and to have, they don't have, he doesn't have the capacity for daily mass, and
No.
joining us too.
And you got Rosemary, which is what, California?
Rosemary is Lois's sister. Rosemary's in California. They're 2 hours before us.
Yeah,
So she's up at 6 o'clock for daily mass. We're
That's
loving
right.
that.
Yeah, and then Jim is I'm not sure where Jim is right now.
Jim and Joanne, I think they're someplace in Texas at Arlington. I don't want to say Arlington, but somewhere there. Mm-hmm.
So it's neat. I think we're reaching out to a lot of people, and the one thing I like to watch is how many people are watching, because there's I think Thanksgiving Mass, I hit my highest number. I think it was at like about 60.
Yeah, and that's an indicator of on Facebook. But then there's the website, and then there's the YouTube. So
Correct.
It's always a larger kind of number, and we get about how many people maybe 50 people at daily mass.
Yes.
So the online people are larger than the in-house presence as much as that
Correct.
is part of it. So, well, we're loving the ability of Sue Bessler's ability to just troubleshoot, problem solve. We had those internet issues.
Yes, we did. We did upgrade the entire internet throughout the whole building, because with all the kids streaming and us trying to stream, we were basically burning out our internet speed. So we upgraded to the highest you can get with.
Right. So gotta like our facilities here and people's care for them. That's for sure. Sue's a big part of that maintenance team as well, overseeing Phil and
Ken
Maria and Ken and Robert. Kind of doing what they can too, so
yes,
giving a shout out to the care. And so far, no snow, that's a good thing. That's a $400 bill every time the drops of snow. So giving thanks for that, St. Dennis. How's our time? Good, 9:15 or so. What else in terms of, I guess part of the joy is what we're saying is, and it's kind of what I tried to encourage people today with the scripture, was that Advent people are people of hope. You know, our hope is in Christ and the promises of the eternal. That's where we place our hope. The second piece is that whole sense of growing gratitude and always giving thanks to God. And then that third piece is staying connected. And I tell you, there's been so many different ways St. Dennis has flourished. Staying connected through social media, which never would have happened.
Right.
Had COVID not forced it.
It did force it. I think COVID's kind of forced a lot of things. More people, of course, you have to be staying at home, so reconnecting with family and getting more things done around the house.
Right.
So yeah, it's in a way you almost want to say it's mixed blessings.
It is.
Because
There's
people
no
learn
doubt
to
about it.
reconnect different ways.
Right.
Yeah.
And underneath that is you have to make a choice. There's so much we can't do, but what can we do? And that's where we made a choice early on. We're going to live stream.
Right.
We're going to get this facility. We're going to get these cameras. We can do this. And then all of a sudden it was, well, we can use those screens and we can put images on the screen for the viewer at home. So much we can't do, but focus on what's one thing you can do. And you just start from that. And then I think another clear indicator was early this summer, Lisa Harms did the virtual vacation Bible school where nobody else, no other parish was really touching it. And it flourished in a tremendous way, a great response. Our school situation, in school and at home, virtual faith formation, I think that flourished with the online stuff this year. There's a lot of great stories. I want to try to get Lisa and maybe Matt with us next week for that piece to celebrate those good news. Most recently, the St. Vincent de Paul. We did a little hashtag Giving Tuesday for our St. Vincent de Paul conference and providing generously for those who are in need. And it was a short 3-minute video Sue McMahon and I did, and I think I haven't looked at the numbers, but it was close to like $4,000
Right,
yesterday.
it was.
That people came in. So we're staying connected, St. Dennis, and obviously our Advent videos too.
Well, and I think people that have been very generous with the ones that do not. And, that's been very prevalent,
Right.
you know.
People, yeah, here's a little financial stuff for us, friends. Because I only ran the numbers from July 1st through October. So the first quarter.
Yeah, our fiscal year.
Of this fiscal year. What surprised me was last year we had like 900 gifts, 900 families in that 3-month period give. And this year it was 712. So a good 30% less, but simultaneously the dollars were very, very close. It's 40,000 deficit. We ran the fiscal year, several of you, and I wanted to give a shout out to that. Several of you encouraged to say, what's our fiscal situation? What was the year-end report? We didn't post that from last summer. And we ran that yesterday, and we'll get that posted. But
right.
In general, Sue, it was about a 3% deficit.
Correct.
So our budget's close to $3 million. Well, and here is Miss Anne Marie. We got music today.
Yes, we do. The first one was virtual.
The first one was virtual.
Yeah.
Music lessons virtually.
Yeah. Yikes.
Yeah, Anne Marie gets a lot of steps in nowadays.
Right. Right. Teachers being creative. What can't we do? We can't sing. Okay, so what can we do? What's the one thing we can't do? So she's creating some sort of virtual Christmas event for the school families. So
Yes, yes. Should be very neat.
So again, we'll post the financial numbers, but I know the year end, many of you asked, that finished June, not many, but there were several requests I had recently saying, what's our financial situation? And I know that we were 3% below our budget from last year of 3 million, so about 90,000 in terms of income coming in. And right now we're at about less than 1% of where we'd like to be. So in general, I'm very grateful for the response but appreciate how people are able to step up too.
Right, and we've also, made some financial cuts too, expense-wise. When the COVID first hit, I didn't cancel, but I cut back on our waste management. There was no sense in picking up weekly, so we cut back on that. We cut back on a lot of our different additional services, like the mat and rug replacement. We stopped that because no one's coming into church. There's no sense replacing those rugs. Yeah. So there's a lot of things we cut.
In areas that we could, and yet obviously personnel, we've kept everybody for the most part going pretty well. I've been very pleased with that. And, so give a shout out to that. I want to take a few minutes as well, looking ahead to the weekend, Sue.
Okay.
So the women of St. Dennis, Loaves and Wishes.
Loaves and Wishes and Delicious.
Wishes and Delicious. Saturday morning, I think, is the pickup.
Yep, from 9 until 1.
9 until 1, underneath the carport.
They're gonna be socially distanced, they're gonna have tables, so they will be completely outside. All the tables will be 6 feet apart, there'll be one person at each table. So they can drop off the angel tree gifts, they can pick up their cookies or pick up their bread. Everything had to be pre-ordered. There will be a few additional, but pre-order was specified.
Do you remember what the numbers were for the pre-ordered? I mean, it was.
I think they're at about $250 for the loaves. I'm not sure.
250 loaves of mountain bread, and so that was the number I remember too.
Yeah.
I don't remember what the others were. And then there's the Drummer Boy project, which is those gift cards.
Right.
And
No, they're gifts.
They're gifts.
The gift cards is St. Vincent.
Okay, thank you. So Drummer Boy is gifts, and that's being collected this weekend too.
Correct.
And script, are we doing script this weekend, folks?
I believe, yes, we are.
Okay, so you can anticipate that. But the other piece, anything else for this upcoming weekend?
Not that I can think of offhand.
I just also wanted to take a little bit of time, talk about our plans for Christmas, Christmas Eve, and such, so you can help get this word out. But we're getting closer to having it ready on the website. But as of now, Christmas Eve is the same schedule, 4 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 8 o'clock, midnight, and 9 o'clock on Christmas morning. The significant change, or Mike Stewart, who has been very faithful every weekend at all the masses as an usher and just taking care of the place and cleaning it down. He found this online registration. So like if you go to a theater, you purchase your ticket, you not only purchase your ticket, but you can purchase your seat. So when this gets launched, and it'll be next week, right off our homepage, I looked at it again this morning, it's really slick. So you'll just go to this website, then you choose which mass you're interested in, 4, 6, 8, or midnight. It opens up, it takes you to a diagram of the church. Rather than pews, it's individual seats. And then you put in there your name, your email, your phone number, and how many seats you want. And you select where you want to sit. And then you push confirm, and then it sends you an email confirmation with your section number, like DD, row 4, seats 3, 4, 5. The other slick piece about it is after you put in the number of seats, it also provides for physical distancing. So you can be assured, you put in 3 seats, there won't be somebody right next to you. It just is built in with that kind of mechanism.
That's awesome.
It's going to be, the goal from our perspective is to do everything we can to bring the reassurance that if you want to come to Mass, we're doing everything we can to keep church sanitized and keep you safe, and that Christmas would be a gift in a different way this year. So again, it's in third form. We should have it ready hopefully by this weekend, but early next week it'll be on the website and Facebook. And we'll probably do a couple practice runs with it, but we'll learn as we go. So just encouraged with that. So those are the plans for Christmas, 4, 6, 8, midnight, and 9 a.m. You have to register. If you do not register, but you show up, most particularly for 4 o'clock, you're probably going to end up in the gathering or in fellowship hall. And we'll have the screen in there as well. So again, we want to try to encourage people to come for Christmas Mass. If some have said to me, Father, I'm coming for Christmas Mass, I don't care if I have to come to midnight. I just want to be in church for Christmas. But many of you are not comfortable coming, and we've got something special planned for that too. And we completely want to stay connected as well. And so we're going to do the recording for Christmas Eve. We'll probably record it on Tuesday night, but it'll play it on Christmas Eve, and we got a special lineup for that. So at 4:15, Lisa Harms and Christy Stutz have been coordinating our children with this virtual nativity. It is going to be precious. Little kids, they each have a part in the Christmas story. And so they're all recording it from their homes, and it's going to be just melded together. But we'll air that at 4:15. And then that'll probably be a good 20 minutes, half hour, I would imagine. And then we'll somewhere in there, it could be. And then a piece of music, a couple pieces of music, and then the Mass will start after that. And it'll play, it's always available to you, so you can kind of plan on that being a part of your Christmas Eve schedule, however. And then another piece we want to give a shout out to, like we did at Easter, we're going to do a Christmas family photo event. So we'll post that this weekend, but Carol Jocks in the office here is you can send your photos of your household, your family, your individual, send them to her, and we'll have another beautiful Christmas photo display that'll be aired during the Mass and then after Mass accordingly. So
okay, Kathy Gifford is asking what Christmas Masses will be online.
Which Christmas, we don't know yet about Christmas Masses online. Part of that is simply personnel. That is the real issue. I mean,
give a shout out for more volunteers.
Right. I mean, we'd like to be able to have a few of the Christmas Masses live, 4, 6, 8, midnight. But I know it takes a lot to pull off what we pull off, and I'm not sure we can ask our volunteers for that as well. They're stepping up in terms of Christmas Tuesday, and we don't know yet about the Masses yet, Cassie. It's our goal, but no promises at this point. But we are going to go 4:15 live on or 4:15 recorded on Christmas Eve.
Okay. So
it'd be nice. We are always, so if you're you're somewhat willing. She's more than capable of teaching.
I'll give you my phone number. You can reach me on Facebook.
Right. So Pat Joyce, he kind of stepped forth,
Yep,
right?
he's doing Wednesdays, and Mary is training on for Fridays.
Right. Mary Smith, recently retired, but worked in the library, I think, for a number of years. And she says, I can come in and learn this. And she's a part of that too. So truly, friends, if you're not afraid to make mistakes, if you're willing to be taught, I think right now we've got the system so.
Oh, I have a detail.
Yeah, but it's so simple. It's much simpler than it was 2 months ago.
Oh, God, yes.
I mean, in general, it's.
It's very, I think very easy. I talked to Patrick yesterday when he came in, and he goes, it's getting easier each time. And it does.
Yeah.
It's, nothing can compare to my first 2 weeks or so. That we were still trying to get all the equipment going, and so we pretty much, I think we've got most of our equipment. I mean, some things are still changing, but it's gotten much better, streamline-wise.
Yeah, so we're making progress. Anything good is uphill all the way. I like to keep reminding people of that. All the way it's uphill. If you just take a breath, you're gonna just kind of stay right there. If you give up, it's too hard, you're gonna take a back step. So it's just same with learning an instrument, learning to read, or learning to try to say we're committed to live stream.
That's right. Gotta stick with the punches.
Yeah, because they're gonna come. Isn't that life?
That's right. It is.
I love that, Advent. Just a shout out to Philip McCown and Kurt and Anne-Marie Schmidt and their family for our Advent video. But I love that line in there where he said what he loves about watching his kids is when they ride their bikes is there's obstacles that are placed in their path and they have to persevere through them. And that's the metaphor of life. So any other comments from our online crowd that we want to be attentive to?
Oh, my daughter's watching.
Oh,
Hi, Steph.
hello, Steph. Way to go. Nice to, and that little, what's the little one's name again?
That's Nikki, the baby. Oh, it's never their baby.
No, Steph's little boy.
Oh, Emmett.
Emmett. Good.
Yep. You got Rosemary saying we have been her rock.
Oh, yes.
Patrick likes our tree.
Good.
Jim truly appreciates St. Dennis keeping Mass online.
Yep.
And Diane Brockman, we go back a long way. We do.
Nice.
Her daughter and I went to school here.
Nice.
Yeah, all beautiful comments. Thank you so much, everyone.
That's right, folks. Thanks for staying connected. So it's close to 9:30. I don't know, is there any other things that we wanted to be attentive to? Just the one shout out for school. We took the week of Thanksgiving off, and we had sent a letter home to families. If they were going to be outside their own household for Thanksgiving, they had to go virtual this week. So we've got like 140 kids in school and 125 at home.
Yeah. I think we're gonna do the same thing at Christmas time too. We're gonna take an additional week.
Yeah. So but otherwise we're thrilled to be open. We've had, the fourth grade is out this week because of COVID case within a family, but they'll be back with us next week. We've had three classes total where they had to be out for a week, so.
But they weren't, it wasn't internal, I should say.
Yeah.
Came in contact with someone that was positive outside of that.
Yeah, it was secondary. I guess
Right.
only maybe one of our kids, a couple of our kids have had COVID, but.
Right, but parents have been very proactive.
Yeah.
Keeping their children home, because I can tell you in the past, people would send their kids to work or kids to school and they weren't feeling well, and the next thing I know, I'm cleaning up a mess. So if your children do not feel good, don't send them to school.
Right. That's right. Okay, friends, I'd like to end with a little thanks for being with us. Hopefully we'll be back next Thursday morning, Gratitude and Grace. We'll see where it takes us, but have a great day. And here's one little, I'm loving right now, Psalm 84, or appreciating it. It's that psalm of the desire to offer worship, whether in the temple or in the temple of the home. But David writes, how lovely is your dwelling place, O Lord of hosts. My soul longs, yes, faints for the courts of the Lord. My heart and my flesh sing for joy for the living God. And so we give thanks for the gift of this day. We give thanks for that gift of faith and that gift of hope and the gift of family. Keep us safe in your love this day. And through the intercession of St. Francis Xavier and our Blessed Mother. May Almighty God bless us, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Peace,
Thank
friends.
you.
Okie dokie. We did it.